Today, let's talk about domestic violence. Some people think that domestic violence is only when people get physical. You see a person with a black eye, see the person that is beaten up at home, you say that is domestic violence. A lot of people are going through situations that qualify as domestic violence and they do not know it. The domestic violence as a topic is very, very wide in its scope. There are different types of domestic violence. It can come in different forms. We have financial abuse, we have economic abuse, psychological abuse, we have sexual abuse, there is the physical abuse, there's religious abuse. It goes on and on and on. And the abuser can develop any form of tactics in order to perpetrate these acts. When your abuser decides to employ the tactic of stalking you, that also qualify as a means of what displaying his what tendencies. Withholding your phone is also a means of displaying this tendency. You may ask, is it only women that are objects or subjects of domestic abuse? The answer is no. Both men and women alike go through domestic abuse, domestic violence. But it's just that men have their ego and they do not want to come out to discuss it in the open. A lot of men are also going through domestic violence and there is nobody to talk to about it. But society has made it look like it is only women that go through domestic violence. You may also ask, does the church a person attend make him free or her free from domestic abuse? No. It is not the church that you attend that keeps you free from domestic abuse because even in some churches, they find a way to cover it so that the story does not go out because when the story goes out, it will taint the image of the church. But what is important and very necessary is for you as a person to actually examine the person carefully and see whether the life that he is living and the words that he's professing align with the word of God, whether that person is a person of God. That is the only criteria for judging whether a person can practice or you will be subject to experience domestic abuse. You may also be asking, women or men who are financially independent, whether they can also be subjects of domestic violence? Of course, they can. It does not have anything to do with money. It does not have anything to do with beauty or handsomeness. A dysfunctional person is a dysfunctional person because the abuser does not even see himself as perpetrating this abuse. He sees himself as somebody that is in authority, and to him or her, that is the best way of creating his or her significance in that relationship and in your life. Perpetually keeping you in that position where you always live in fear and apprehension that yes, something is about to happen. That is domestic violence. I'm sure a lot of people do not know all these other aspects of domestic violence. But now that you know, you can also do better and seek help because domestic violence has taken the life of a lot of people. And we live in the part of the world where we feel that marriage is for better and for worse. We live in the part of the world where we feel, especially in the typical African family setting, where your mother will tell you that, look, I did not leave my husband's house to bring shame to my parents. So you too will not be allowed to leave your husband's house and bring shame to us. Therefore, go back to your husband and fix your marriage. There are people who can never be fixed because they are not even seeing themselves as having problems in the very first place. Like we talk about in negotiation, both parties must see themselves that their interests are no longer aligning together. And it is until they come to that point where they think that, yes, we need something to be done, that they can begin the process of negotiation. So it is impossible to help a person who does not see himself or herself to have a problem. So what will you be fixing? You're going to fix somebody who does not see that what he or she is doing to you is wrong? There is no fixing in such a situation. And in most cases, this has led to the death of so many victims. And when there is loss of life, there's no amount of compensation that can be paid or given to the family of the deceased that will ever be enough to replace that person. I hope you have learned something today. We'll see you again on our next video. We now have a new page, official page, Zivial Law Essence. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, follow us on YouTube as well as TikTok to keep us motivated and to let us know whether we are actually doing a good job on these platforms. Doing that will get us motivated and make us develop more innovative ways to continually bring you these premium contents. To have a lovely day. Meanwhile, before I say goodbye, on the next video, we'll be bringing and talking about the psychological impact that domestic violence will have on the children of the marriage. To have a lovely day.